Hi, welcome back, my amazing scientists. Hi, so this week in reading, we have been talking about this fun story called Where is Home, Little Pip? And we've been talking about the characters that we see in Little Pip. And this week, we met a new character. Does anyone remember which character did we meet this week? You can use the picture to help you. Yes, you are right. We met the whale. And I was thinking, so we know that little Pip lives in Antarctica where it's really cold. Can everyone shiver like it's really, really cold? Yeah, and the whale lives there too. The whale lives in the water. So that got me thinking, the water must be really, really, really what? Yeah, cold. And so I was wondering, how does this character of the whale stay warm when it's in the water? Can everyone think? Think. Let's see. How do you think? Let's see. You can talk with the people around you. What are you thinking? How would the whale stay warm? Ooh, maybe move around a lot, swim, maybe wear a coat or a sweater. Yeah. All right, all great guesses. So whales and other animals that live in really, really cold water, like walruses. Could everyone do this with like a walrus? Walruses and whales and other animals that live in really, really the coldest water in the whole wide world, they have something called blubber. Can everyone say blubber? Yep, blubber. Good. Yeah, and blubber is a special kind of fat that keeps the cold air out and it keeps the warm where? Yeah, inside the body. So the whales have a special layer of fat called blubber, and that helps to keep them warm in the really, really cold water. All right, and we know that we do science experiments so that we can have fun, but also so that we can, yes, think and learn. And so what we're going to have a science experiment about today is how blubber works. And so here's our little chart to help us remember what we're learning about and what we're thinking about. And our job as scientists today is to explain how some animals meet the needs of where they live. So our job is, after this lesson, students, that's you, raise your hand if you're a student. Yep, our students will be able to explain how animals like the whale stay warm where they live in that really, really cold weather, in that cold water. Okay, so your grown-ups have already helped you at home get all the materials that you will need. Thank you, grown-ups. Air high five to all the grown-ups for helping. Thank you. So you have all the materials that you're going to need for this experiment at home. But let's just go through the materials together. So if a grown-up could hold this one, that would be great. So you're going to need for this experiment some ice cold water. Some water that has some water in it, also some ice. This water, to us, is going to feel like the water that the whales swim in. Ice, ice, cold water. Can everyone say icy, icy? Yes, and maybe put your bowl down before you say icy, icy like that. All right, and the next thing you're gonna need is your blubber. So your grown-up at home helped you make some blubber. So what they did was they put a Ziploc bag, so a bag like we put our snacks and our sandwiches in. They took a bag and then they put a kind of fat in there that some people use to cook. It's called shortening or Crisco. Raise your hand if you've heard of butter before. If you put butter on toast or you put butter on your pancakes, yeah. So butter is kind of like Crisco. So this kind of feels like butter in there. So they put a bunch of butter in the bag, and then they put another bag in here so that our hands don't get all covered with blubber when we put it into the bag. All right, so everyone hold up their blubber bag. Yeah. So you know what? If we were a whale or a walrus or someone that lived in that really, really cold weather, we would have blubber. But we had to make this because we're people and we don't have any blubber on our bodies. So we're going to use this for our blubber. Then you can also use a paper towel, a napkin, or something to wipe your hands off. I'm using a regular towel. And, oh my goodness, I almost forgot. The most important material today is our hands. Can everyone show me, did you bring your hands with you today? Yeah, so our hands are going to be what we use to tell if the blubber is working to keep our bodies warm. And you know what? Since we're going to be using our hands for a really, really important job, I think I'm going to get my wiggles and jiggles out using my hands. So, ready? I'm going to sing my Open, Shut Them song. Do it with me. Open, shut them, open, shut them, give a little clap. Good. Open, shut them, open, shut them, put them in your lap, lap, lap. Creep them, creep them, creep them, creep them, right up to your chin. Nice. Open up your little mouth, but do not put them in. Don't put them in. And roll them, roll them, roll them, roll them, roll them just like this. Shake them, shake them, shake them, shake them, then you blow a kiss. Nice job. All right, so are your hands all warmed up and ready for our experiment? Okay, my scientists, so before we start, scientists like to predict. That means they like to think about what might happen. So how do you think, if I put my hand in the ice cold water right now, how do you think our hand is going to feel? Let's see, any ideas? Yep, maybe cold, yeah. Maybe wet, yeah, I'm thinking that too, wet. Yep, so wet and cold. All right, what about with the blubber? If I put my hand in the blubber and then I stick it into the water, what are you thinking? How might our hand feel? So maybe still cold, yep, not wet anymore, Ooh, warm maybe, so cold, dry, and some people think wet too, yeah. So all predictions, and remember, we do predictions before we do the experiment. I'm putting our learning ideas up here just so we remember what we're learning. Okay. Before we do the experiment, we predict, we come up with some guesses what we think is going to happen, and then after our experiment, scientists write down the results or the answers, and they write down what they found from the experiment, the results. All right. Are you ready to get started? Raise your hand if you're ready to get started. Yeah, and I see some grown-ups are ready too. All right, great. Thank you, grown-ups. Okie dokie, here we go. So the first thing we're going to do is, here's your water. Take your hand. Yeah, and this is your hand with no blubber on it, just a person hand. And I want you only for 3 seconds. I'll count for you. Ready? Stick it into the water. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3. What do you notice? Yeah. Yeah, it's really wet. It's really cold. Yeah, freezing. Everyone go like this. Brr. Yeah, I know. Oh, you didn't think it was that cold? Yeah, I thought so too. I'm gonna do a me too sign. I thought it was really, really cold. All right. So that's that one. We used our hand, no blubber, and we felt cold. Now you can wipe off your hand, get all that wetness off. All right. Now we're gonna use our water again. And we're going to use our blubber. Okay, and I have a feeling we might be able to hold our hand in there longer than 3 seconds. Let's try it. Ready? Hand in blubber, let me see. Hand in blubber, wave to me with your blubber hand. Wave to me with your blubber hand. Nice job. All right, here we go. Ready? And go. What are some things you're noticing? Talk with your grown-up. What are some things you're noticing? Yeah, it's not that cold. Yeah, it's a mushy. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. All right, boys and girls, and now you can take this out and you can stick it right into your towel or your paper towel so that we don't make a mess. There we go. Yeah, even though it's okay to make messes when we're being scientists sometimes. Sorry, grown-ups, but they'll help you clean it up after. All right, so what are some things that you noticed when we stuck our hand in with the blubber? You can turn and talk with the grown-up at your house. Yeah, it wasn't cold. It was warm. Yeah, it was fun. Good. Yeah. Okay, and what did you notice when you didn't have blubber on your hands? Yeah, it was really cold and your hand kind of hurt a little bit. Yeah, so why do you think that it's important? So really, really think this is a tricky question. Why do you think it's important for whales to have that special layer of blubber on them, that special layer of fat? Why do you think it's important? So think for a minute, and turn and talk with your grown-up. Yeah, it helps them to be able to live cold. Yeah, it helps them stay warm because their water is really cold. Yeah, nice job, scientists. So over here, I'm gonna put my results. With our hand, you said it was really cold still. And then with our hand in the blubber, when we stuck it in the water, you said it was what? Yeah, a warmer, nice and comfortable, yeah. So boys and girls, my last question for you, and I'm not gonna give you this answer, this is for you to find out afterwards when you keep experimenting with your grown-up. Do you think that a whale that has a lot of blubber, so lots and lots and lots of blubber like this, do you think that that whale would be warmer than a whale that did not have a lot of blubber? So what you're gonna do after this with your grown-up is you're gonna try to push all of the butter to one side, or all of the Crisco or blubber fat, you're gonna push it to one side over here. And then you're gonna see, is it colder on this side of my hand that does not have a lot of blubber? Or is it colder on this side of my hand with a lot of blubber? Okay, and that's an experiment that you're gonna do on your own with a grown-up or someone that you live with at home. Okay, boys and girls, you did an amazing